Woman snapped the hacksaw in half, hid it in the ground beef, smoothed it out, covered it with plastic wrap, and froze it overnight in the refrigerator. The next day at work, she had a guard who was friendly with the prisoners bring the beef inside. Mark unwrapped the package in front of the guard, who saw it was indeed a box of beef, and only then left reassured. After confirming it was safe with a mirror, Mark quickly thawed it with water, extracted the steel saw inside, and began preparing his escape. He spread out toilet paper, broke an entire box of matches, wrapped them tightly in the paper, then placed them inside a cup noodle bag. Mark went to the prisoner recreation area, signaled to his accomplice on another floor, and the two exchanged the bag in the stairwell. While everyone was downstairs, the accomplice set fire to the cell next to Mark's. The flames spread rapidly, alarms blared, and guards rushed to extinguish the blaze. Though the fire was put out, the room was blackened by smoke, and required repainting. This was precisely the outcome Mark desired. Mark handed the hacksaw to David, instructing him to craft escape tools. David first wrapped cloth strips around both ends of the hacksaw, then snapped it in half at the middle. He retrieved a pair of nail clippers, secured one end of the saw with a rubber band, and wrapped thick cloth strips around it. Soon, two handy tools were ready. He handed one to Mark. When the other prisoners went out for exercise, one pretended to paint outside as a lookout, while another sawed at the ventilation shaft inside. They even prepared in advance for the falling iron filings. First, they lined up small magnets, and wrapped them in craft paper. When the filings fell, they were all sucked up, then flushed down the toilet. To minimize noise when moving the bed, they also added soundproofing to the bed legs. Working in shifts, they sawed through the vent in just 2 weeks. To avoid detection, they covered the outside with tape, then painted over it. Once dry, it looked perfectly intact. At night, they first checked for safety with a mirror, then made a dummy out of clothes, peeled off the tape, opened the vent window, and carefully crawled inside. After resetting the bed, they pulled down a painting to cover the vent. The two advanced along the ductwork, finally reaching the lowest point. It was pitch black, but they were excited. They walked along the duct for a long time, still seeing no end. Mark suggested splitting up to scout. The next day, they meticulously retraced their steps from the night before. When night fell again, they resumed their search for an exit. This time David ventured farther, even glimpsing the prison's outer wall, but a wall blocked his path ahead. David relayed the situation to Mark. They'd need a sledgehammer to break through. Mark reminded him there was a spare toolbox beneath the pipes. That night, David found the toolbox. It truly contained the necessary tools. He hoisted the sledgehammer and began smashing the wall. Day after day passed, and he lost count of how many walls he'd broken through, until finally he reached the prison's outer wall. But this was a 2-meter thick reinforced concrete wall, and David wanted to give up. At his current pace, it would take at least 5 years to break through, but Mark kept urging him on. And so, David labored night after night, hammering away. A month later, only a small hole appeared in the wall. His hands were covered in scars, and he wanted to give up once more. But Mark persisted in encouraging him, saying that focusing on one thing would surely lead to success. Until one day, while David was hammering, he suddenly made an astonishing discovery. This discovery would allow them to escape quickly.